to Crazy Ex Podcast. This time, Roger and I watched Season 2, Episode 7, Who's the Cool Girl Josh is Dating? As always, we'll start off with the synopsis. Valencia and Rebecca obsessively research Josh's new girlfriend, which leads to them running over her cat and thinking that she's a drug dealer. When they discover that Anna is in fact not a drug dealer and that Josh really cares about her, they both have to face that Josh has moved on. Valencia decides to get laid, leaving Rebecca alone. Meanwhile, Scott and Paula are struggling to connect as their interests diverge. When Paula misses Scott's barbershop performance, he goes out to cool off. Rebecca and Paula realize they need to apologize to repair their friendship. Roger, what do you think of this episode?
It's probably my favorite episode of the season.
Wow!
There's some things I don't love. But I think it was a better job of using our characters in the right scenarios to make them more tolerable.
Okay.
It was objectively funny.
So funny.
Both songs were good. I didn't write down a ton of lines, but there's a lot of good situational lines that I think are really funny. I also thought they did a good job of they're getting into this zany scenario and obviously going to be something ridiculous where either she is dealing drugs or it's just something that looks like drugs. Oh, actually, it turns out that this is just a very normal thing that any reasonable person should have just assumed was happening. Mm-hmm. There's not the extra twist in the end where it's she's actually screwing over Josh. It's oh, hey, he's just happy.
Yeah, he's just doing good. I also really like this episode. As I said previously, love Brittany Snow and thought she was fabulous in this episode.
She's good.
I also really appreciated... We have spent a lot of time talking about how how Rebecca is a bad friend to Paula, mm-hmm. which is not untrue. Paula is also not a great friend to Sunil, and we literally see her Rebecca at him. And... she's also not doing a great job with Scott currently.
You want to start with Paula?
Sure.
So, Paula's an interesting one because if you frame Paula's discussion around purely her and Rebecca, she is 100% the victim. Mm-hmm. Paula does nothing wrong, in my opinion, other than enable Rebecca's worst impulses. But she's generally a good friend for Rebecca. She's there for her. She supports her. She's a little mothering, but
Yeah, I think she's enabling.
She's an enabler,
yeah.
Sure. But she's an enabler can still be a good friend who just doesn't know how to set healthy boundaries or do a good job of telling you no. If you take Rebecca out, Paula's kind of shitty.
Yeah, she's mean to Daryl. And Daryl is weird. I get it. He calls her pee-pee.
Weird doesn't mean you should be mean to someone.
Yeah.
And then not even that. She's not appreciative of all the things he does for her.
Yeah.
And the fact that he lets her just leave during the middle of the day all the time and hasn't fired her ass. Because unlike Rebecca, who apparently can be a rainmaker, I don't think Paula is.
Yeah, I don't know.
So he's just being a good friend. Not to mention, he got her into law school, wrote the letter after her so-called best friend didn't do it, called the guy who actually knows. So she's shitty to him. Are we even really going to talk about how shitty she was to Josh and Valencia? I don't think that needs to be debated. She was actively trying to break them up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she's awful to Sunil. And now, here's the Scott thing. So when we first met Scott and whatever episode it was, he was the neglectful husband focused on his quartet, and she is the victim. Turns out, both of them do this.
Yeah.
And in fact, I do remember an episode where they're trying to have a family dinner, and she's got her headphones in, monitoring the Rebecca situation. And she's got an obsession with obsession. That's her thing. They binge watch a show in 2 days, or so she's just as much as it seemed like she was the one being neglected, I think she's actually also, at the very least, she's neglectful. And it seems like she does this enough that she may have forced Scott into finding his own hobby because she's not there for him.
Well, and I also think that Scott and Paula have clearly done some repair to their relationship with Father Bra. And I think I don't think that you're wrong, but also I think that Paula was neglectful because Scott was neglectful. I think that they were both ignoring each other, so they just were kind of living their lives separately together in the same house.
Yes.
They've since repaired that, and now Paula, or they sort of did and are getting along, or were getting along, but now it's diverging again because Paula is following an obsession, law school, and not bringing Scott with her.
It seems like this has shown me that the beginning of this might have been Paula in the first place. Paula does this, Scott responds in kind, they have this problem, they come back together, Paula's natural obsession habit, so like it does seem like the jump off point is Paula just can't help her obsession with obsession.
I'm also still concerned that like Scott doesn't know how to use a washing machine.
That was one of the things I did love.
And thinking back to two episodes
he
ago,
can't cook!
He can't cook, and he wanted them to have a baby while Paula...
Well, he said, if you want to have a baby, we'll figure it out. That's different.
Who was going to figure it out, Scott?
Remember how I said just saying to figure it out just doesn't work like that? He can't use a laundry machine. I know men in real life who don't know how to use a laundry machine.
Just read the directions.
Remember how I always say I don't think you know enough men? You know what men are famous for not doing?
Reading directions? But you can't just like say that you can't figure it out.
What do you mean?
Well, you can't just be like, well, I don't like to read directions, so I don't have to figure this out.
I don't think you've met men. You can, in fact, and most many do. I mean, also, I don't really think you need to read directions to use a washing machine. I've never read directions. Someone told me how to do it, and I used common fucking sense. Obviously, if you're doing something complicated, fine.
Something that I did like about this episode, though, I mean, the binge watching The Wire, I think you make a good point that that's also obsessive. But that's actually like one of the first times that we've heard about something that Paula and Rebecca did that wasn't about Josh and wasn't about work.
Yep.
So like there are like I think 7 seasons of The Wire. Like they did a thing together for a very long time.
Well, they did it in like 3 days.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
It's actually not a long time. That's a long weekend.
It's a lot of time together. It's
they didn't
hours.
They didn't sleep. Yeah, so they did have a thing that connected them besides Josh, which is good if it were healthy. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the way they did it was unhealthy.
Nothing wrong with binge watching, but binge watching in 3 days, something that long is...
I have certainly watched 9 consecutive episodes of 24. But watching all 7 seasons in 3 days is maniacal.
Yeah, I'm kind of a supreme binge watcher, and I think the fastest I've ever watched a show that long is 2 weeks.
Sure, that's a lot of binge watching, but at some point I just get I gotta take a break. Your kind of brain just when you get up after watching a show for 9 hours, you're just I gotta stop.
Yeah.
When
you're sick and that's all you can do, and you're oh my god, I just want to do something. Once
we did 4 episodes of our podcast at once, and we were both gassed.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot of talking.
Sure, but let's call that another episode. That's 8 episodes, and we were both exhausted.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing 7 seasons in 3 days?
Do you imagine writing that many synopses?
No. AI. You just have to use AI. Your brain would stop working.
I don't use AI.
Oh, God, I would never allow AI slop. Other thing very interesting, and I think this is very much a funny disconnect between guys and girls. Tanya is flirting with Scott. Mm-hmm. I wasn't actually sure if she was flirting or being nice, and then I asked you, and he goes, obviously. It was blatantly apparent to you that she was flirting with him, and I'm maybe she's just being nice. I don't exactly know. I obviously picked up some signal, but it is funny to me that it's the very common, oblivious man doesn't know, and I'm okay, but we have both had this conversation about well, just because a woman is nice to you doesn't mean she likes you. Well, then you can't give me shit for not assuming every woman who's nice to me likes me. Which one is it?
Well, and I guess she does have she's not just pretending to like barbershop. She knew a lot of technical musical terms. She has a genuine interest in this. So that is fair.
And they're coworkers, so they would naturally talk.
Yeah. But it was the way that she was teasing him that was flirty.
I obviously got it too, but this is where this is silly, that is not obvious flirting. I think all women would look at that and go, that's...
Scott did not think that it was flirting.
No, I wouldn't. I was that might be. But as a third person, I made the guess.
Yeah. As
a second person, I would assume that's just a woman being nice. Especially if you know all of the thing in the subject, I would assume you like the subject. And that's just one of those funny things that I'm just that's not it. Women think what is obvious. I don't think men agree that is obvious to us. Because that's not how we flirt. Mm-hmm. We don't go research your favorite subject and talk to you about it. That's weird.
That's like literally things that people do in like rom-com.
Yes, it is. 100%. And it always kind of comes off as creepy, which is like, oh, it's sweet, but that's also a little stalkery.
Research me obsessively. Uh-huh.
Also, boy, just set an alarm, Paula. Like, look, you know that I will say, I also appreciate, and I feel like any married man can relate to this, your wife's really into a thing. You have no fucking clue what she's talking about. But you're going to be a supportive husband and have the conversation with her and listen to it, and you're like, uh-huh, sure, totally into this case about Chinese laundromats in the 1800s at the Supreme Court. But like, you know what? It's just important that I listen. I don't need to really know it. I'm just here to, I'm glad, what is it? I'm so happy you're happy.
Well, and also part of the problem is that she was trying to replace Rebecca with Sunil. And Sunil feels like Paula doesn't care about him at all.
I did bring up my wife. Can we get back to talking about her?
And then she, like, tries to replace Rebecca with Scott. And, like, that's not, like, you know who would care about a laundromat case in the 1800s? So I think it's, like, it's actually kind of an important thing that, like, you know, you can't get all of your needs from a singular person. No. Yeah, but also Scott was, like, really trying his best to be interested in that and, like, just did not understand what was being said.
And rightfully so. He just didn't care about that. Like, that's not his thing. Like, just like if he went into the deep weeds about Barbershop Quartet, she's not going to be like, this is super fascinating, tell me more. She's going to be like, stop talking to me.
Yeah. But Paula makes a pretty she bungles her apology, like, really bad to Scott.
Ooh, yeah.
And she tries to make a joke that isn't even, it's not just a like, light joke. She's, like, literally making fun of Scott, which is not the right approach.
I think the problem with it is that joke has too much element of truth for that moment to be used. Like, the reality is she does kind of look down on it and think it's stupid. Now, that's okay. You can have habits that your partner thinks are dumb. But when I'm mad at you about a thing, do not try to throw in my face that you think the thing I'm doing is stupid. Yeah. Now we're going to have a fucking problem.
Also, they were good.
Yeah.
They were actually pretty good. I mean...
But it's irrelevant. Even if they were bad, this is a thing he loves. Like, the fact that they are good... I don't know that I really should change anything, but it does, oddly enough, where it's like, oh, he's actually, like, talented. Because if this were a little kid and I was like, hey, bud, I know you love soccer, but, like, you can't run or kick. I don't know how to tell you this. There's no future in this for you. It's time to move on. Whereas, like, if the kid actually is showing some real talent, I was like, this motherfucker looks like Pele. I mean, yeah, let him invest in it. And, like, you should be happy that you should actually be happy that they're happy.
Yeah.
Paula doesn't really care. I don't think it's malicious in this regard. I think she's just so deep in her own world that Scott is kind of just a background character right now.
Well, and he tries to tell her, like, you should apologize to Rebecca.
He does.
And it was really interesting to see both. It wasn't that surprising to watch Rebecca act like a child about it, but it was more surprising to see Paula act like a child about it in exactly the same way.
Almost the exact same way. It was I was like, wow, Paula's having a Rebecca moment right now. And it happened a couple times in the episode, which is different. So it's like, but that does explain why they connected.
Yeah.
Because they're similar, they're just of different ages.
They also both talk about The Wire, like, they use the exact same words when they're talking about it.
Mm-hmm. And she also says the same thing, I think, of Breaking Bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how they used to talk about the two characters and all that kind of stuff. No, yeah. They definitely talk about it. Similarly. Do you think that Tanya is going to be at the bar?
Yep.
Yeah, I have the odd feeling that's where we're going with that. Which reminds me very much of the Jazz episode.
His status is preferred.
Status is preferred. Yeah.
Where would you like to go next?
So I want to save Valencia and Rebecca for the end. So why don't we go to Josh? Because Josh is a good segue to that.
Yeah.
I think Josh's coffee experience is similar to everyone who doesn't give a shit about coffee experience when you walk into one of those, like, I'm sitting there, I don't drink coffee. I don't give a damn about coffee. I want a raspberry hot chocolate. And yet, I'm looking at that and I'm like, can I not just order a coffee? Well, yeah, I thought you could do that.
Well, you can, but, like, some places now have so many different blends that you, like, have to choose your blend.
I just want coffee.
Yeah.
I can't just say I want coffee? That doesn't mean a thing anymore?
Well, it depends on where you go, but at a fancy coffee shop like this, yeah. But it's funny that this joke, like, there is literally a joke in Frasier where Martin is like, I just want a cup of Joe.
I just want a coffee. That's all I'm asking.
And Niles is like, I'll have a double cappuccino with not too much foam and a sprinkle,
nutmeg.
hint of nutmeg.
Yeah. Not a sprinkle, not a dash, a hint of nutmeg. And you're just like, why is it so complicated to order coffee?
Yeah, it was, well, and then when he's like, he says, choose your favorite, and his favorite is like individual perfect beans from different sets. Boy.
That is such a great mockery of like, coffee has a cult-like obsession, in my opinion. Like, some people are really into it, which like, hey, like your thing, but like, man, I don't give a shit that much.
I'm curious. It happened like twice when they were in the coffee shop, because like it's one thing for like Josh to just not care about coffee and not understand it, but I can't remember what it was, but there was another thing where you could see on Anna's face like, oh, he's a little dumb. I don't remember what he said. It was like a joke that he didn't get, or I don't know.
I think it was the end of the coffee shop when the guy hands her back the photo. Like the thing in the foam.
Oh,
and they start
the
laughing.
Kahlo,
yeah, which I also didn't get. And Josh is like, "Oh yeah!" And she's like, "Huh."
Oh, she's a famous Mexican painter. She's really famous. She has a unibrow. That's like her, which is funny because of the eyebrow.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. It's like walking up to you and being like, "Chelsea, who's Kurt Warner?"
He's a sporter. He sports.
What sports you play?
Basketball.
Nope. And thus, my point is proven. He's a sporter. And you knew that because you knew I was going to go to the subject you don't know a ton about. Yeah. I also like that she does acknowledge that, but she doesn't seem to be holding that against him. Like, I don't get the feeling she doesn't respect him the way I always knew Valencia never respected Josh.
I'm just not sure how that dynamic is going to play out.
I think
we don't actually see very much of Josh in this episode.
I think she knows Josh is kind of dumb. Mm-hmm. But, like, in a, like, harmless way.
I also think that she likes that he's really sweet. Well, and clearly she likes that he's hot. Because, like...
Yeah.
that was what initially attracted him to her. And the first thing he said to her was, I work out.
Well, she says, I'm tired of these skinny hipsters. I mean, look, we all like to pretend that nobody's shallow enough to care about attractiveness, but let's be honest. We all want to be attracted to the person we're with.
Also, the coda on this episode was, like, the funniest thing. Just plucking one eyebrow hair for $300 and telling her to come back tomorrow. I also was that supposed to be Elizabeth Olsen?
I don't know that it was supposed to be explicitly her. I think it was just like a famous person. Because she looks at her agent or whatever, her handler, and the handler's like... It's like, she's convinced them that this is the look, and like, you're going to have to do this treatment every day. Pluck. And I'm like, you know what though? Secure your bag. I'm not mad if you can hustle famous rich people out of their money to be stupid. Like, that's great.
Can we talk about the cat?
Yeah, real quick. What are your thoughts about Josh feeling this way about her so quickly?
Yeah, that's a good question. Especially because she says, that's what I love about you. And Josh panics. Like, you can see the panic on his face, and he's like, you love me? Like, he is scarred from Rebecca. But he did not tell her that he loves her. He said he's never felt this way about someone before, which is kind of an intense thing to say to someone that you've been dating for 3 weeks, but it's not the same as I love you.
Yeah. Because you can say I've never felt this comfortable around someone before. That's not the same as I love you, but it is intense.
But I do think that something that Josh may have learned from his experience is being honest about his feelings. So I think maybe it's a good thing, but I'm not sure. Yeah, no,
I think that's a fair. I think it's also interesting how he describes the ex-girlfriends, because they both believe that he's doing an unfair job of describing them, and I went, ooh, he nailed that. He didn't actually tell anything that was wrong.
Yeah.
Everything he says about them is kind of on the money. And it reminded me of, you remember when Scott and Paula kind of talk about the theme song and we loved it? When Anna describes what Rebecca does and you kind of just hear it set out, she sounds so much more fucking insane than maybe you like, because we watch it play out over so many episodes. And then she says it, she's like, yeah, she's a fucking total nut job. And you're like, yep. Including the like conclusion of the period sex thing where it's like, you know, and then she starts singing period sex and you're just like,
oh my god.
Oh my god.
But also like thinking about from Valencia's perspective, also not untrue what she said, but that's also only Josh's side of the story.
So that's the interesting thing.
They were dating for 10 years, like.
With Rebecca, well, I mean, this is I think where we disagree. I think Josh did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Valencia, it's more complicated.
Yeah.
And because he does feel this way, he's not lying. But Valencia has more validity to feel jilted because they had a 10-year relationship and there was things and like there's just it's nuance to the situation.
Well, and she did do that and it wasn't helpful.
And it wasn't right that she did that.
And like they were not good together and it's good that they're not together. But it also like of course she was pressuring him to propose.
It's been 10 years. It's like the theme song from the first one. The situation's a little bit more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
But it's not when it comes to Rebecca and Josh. Rebecca's just fucking insane.
I mean, she definitely is nuts, but I do think that it is more nuanced than that, but we don't need to debate that again.
That's fine. We can debate that later when I'm sure Rebecca and Josh have a conversation again. Because they will. We know we're not done with that. All right. You want to go to the Valencia and Rebecca and I guess Heather as a side character here?
Yeah, the internet, the deep internet stalking. What a great song.
Great song.
Just, I love how they incorporate it, like, directly into the social media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
like, it's like a picture of her that morphs into a video.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, it sounds so nuts when she's talking about it, but people do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's fucking nuts. Like, we have normalized it, but it's nutty. It just is nutty. Like, fake Instagram profile. I mean, we've actually already seen Rebecca do a version of this when she, like, goes and creates Trent out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then he happens to show up. But, like, she does this in the past. Also, I think I talked to you about in one of the previous episodes where, like, they do the thing where they spin each other up.
Yep.
You know, you see a group of girls and they start getting mad at each other and blah, 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 or getting mad like a common enemy. Valencia and Rebecca each spiraling together about the same thing while Heather's like, what the fuck is happening right now? Are you, like, when she asks, are you guys high? I was like, that's a very good question to ask. Because they're both, like, kind of lying to each other about what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But then they start just saying random words. Like, it just gets so deep into the rabbit hole.
Well, because it's interesting because Rebecca and Valencia clearly are friends. Like, they have interests, the shared interests, whatever. But they also are clearly kind of trying to be each other's anti-Josh Chan accountability buddies. Like, let's not talk about Josh Chan. Let's not dig through the internet about Josh. Mm-hmm. And I think, like, the fact that they both did it and in exactly the same way. They both were like, oh, well, let me put this picture into Google image search and it will tell me where they were.
Yeah, it's actually... So I actually really like the two of them side by side doing this because it kind of reinforces what I've always thought, which is I understand Valencia's point. I don't understand Rebecca's point. Valencia put in 10 years, had reasonable expectations of like, oh, we're together for this long. We're going to move forward. This is what a person who's in a relationship, whereas like Rebecca was always crazy about it. Like she feels as jilted by Josh as Valencia does. But like Valencia's point is valid.
You don't think it's wrong?
Nope. Without you even answering the question, I'm going to tell you my answer is no. But go ahead.
That Josh moved into her apartment and continued sleeping with her so he could live there.
So let me ask, do you think that their relationship was Rebecca didn't want Josh to move in, and Josh weaseled his way into her life, sleeping with her solely with the intent to get with her? Like, you think Josh inserted himself into her life because he needed a place to stay? Is that how you think this went down?
Just because she also wanted him to be there doesn't mean that it's okay.
Well, yeah, but, like, we can both agree, like, if we both decide to go do cocaine together, we're both wrong for doing it. But it is equally wrong for you to say, like, oh my God, Roger, you made me do cocaine. It's like, well, you agreed to this! Like, we this is not me forcing you or coercing you to do a bad thing. And then it's even worse if you specifically made a plot to get me to do cocaine with you. You can't then turn around and be like, I can't believe you agreed to do this with me. It's like, this is what you were trying to do! So no, I don't agree with that. And more importantly, it's more so to, like, when you watch them do it simultaneously, like, even listen to, like, the things that they complain about. Like, the flowers, perfect example. He never bought me flowers at prom. They went to prom together. I gave him my virginity. That feels like a real thing to be mad about. That's kind of valid. Like, you thought this was the one, you guys were together, he didn't buy you. What is Rebecca's equivalent version of that? He wouldn't have a baby with me? How dare he not have a baby with me? He moved into my house, which I begged him to do so I could essentially get him to sleep with me. Like, there just isn't, there's no equivalent level of justified rage here. Even we said this in the episode where they're at the, like, where she gets kidnapped and they go to the, like, Coachella thing.
It was like kidnapped. Okay,
yeah, where she kidnaps Valencia. Which is not a thing that should be a normal statement, but it is. Like, we see the ballet. And Valencia has, like, the thing, and then Rebecca's, like, weird monster thing. You're like, well, yeah, this one, I get.
Triceratops, Roger. Triceratops.
Excuse me. Triceratops. And you're just like, this one makes sense. This one's the ranting. But then when they wake up, Valencia is sad. She's like, I spent 10 years of my life and is just, like, deeply depressed. And Rebecca's enraged that Josh hurt her.
I wish we could get a little more about, because they broke up. Josh moved to New York. And we, like, don't really know anything about that time.
Yeah, I actually want a flash of that.
And maybe it was just that he like really wanted to move to New York and they didn't like have a big fight. It was just sort of like, well, I'm moving to New York and you're not, so like we're gonna break up.
Yeah.
And then
because he was like trying something different.
Yeah, which I still like. What was Josh's job in New York?
It is also possible that like his parents made him.
Maybe.
Because Mrs. Chan doesn't like Valencia.
That's true.
So there could have been some school, maybe, I don't know.
And I guess, did Valencia and Josh start dating after Josh met Rebecca at camp? Or did Josh cheat on Valencia at camp?
Well, prom usually indicates senior.
Sure.
So, and in the way Rebecca tells it, they were 15, 16, so that wouldn't be that age. I think it would be after.
Okay.
I don't know that for sure. I'm just kind of like trying to piece together the info. Also, I feel like, knowing how this show has portrayed Rebecca or Valencia, if there was a cheating concern, it would have been discussed. Because we discussed when, like, the whole, when he kisses Rebecca, when he's with Valencia, like, we would have probably talked about that. I also like that, like, when we get to the breaking in scene, which is nuts on its own, they, like, watch a video and realize that Josh is happy.
Yeah.
And they are sad about that.
They're so sad.
They are sad that a person that broke up with them is now happy.
Yeah.
Is this what good people do?
Well, the reason that they broke in, the reason that they broke in is that they needed to find proof so that they could tell Josh. Well, it started because they didn't want Anna to get hurt by Josh, but then when they thought Anna was a drug dealer, they needed Josh to not get hurt by Anna. I think they're very confused about their feelings about Josh.
I don't think they're confused at all. I think they don't want Josh to be happy.
I mean, that's probably true, but they're...
Probably?
I think that they don't want him to move on, and I think what especially hurt was he never, ever has felt this way about anyone before.
So that's another thing that was interesting. We focus on that, and I see the look on Valencia's face. That sucks. You guys were together 10 years. He never felt that way about you. That hurts because you probably thought we were going to start a life together. Did Rebecca think genuinely that Josh felt this way about her?
I think that because she feels that way about Josh, and like she's been carrying around this torch
for
since
a decade.
They were in high school.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not going to get all on a teenage boy at a summer camp.
Sure.
But he is kind of a dick when they leave the summer camp. Like, they were together all summer, and then he's like, bye, I'm never going to talk to you again. Which is a very normal teenage boy behavior. Like, you don't remember that?
I do. I feel like I thought it was just like they slept together, they were a thing, and now like camp is over,
What? No, she talks about, like, calling him a bunch, and he, like, never answers.
Like, she lives in New York, he lives in California.
I understand.
What is happening right now?
I'm just saying, Rebecca's been carrying this around since high school.
Sure.
And she has wrapped up...
Her entire identity.
Her entire identity into Josh. Like, she has put all of her happiness into Josh as a person.
Yeah.
And if she can't be happy with Josh,
no one can. I do think there's a massive element of that, but, like, it was, I guess, surprising to see her stunned that Josh never felt that way about her when, like, there was never an indication that he did. Ever. Mm-hmm. At any point in time. Whereas Valencia, having had this 10-year relationship with Josh, did have some indications that at some point in time he may have felt this way about her. Because you were together for a decade. You would assume there's been some feelings and growth and all those things.
And he told her that he loved her.
Bingo. He never told Rebecca that he loved her. He never told her that I wanted to be a girlfriend. Like, I don't remember there ever being a conversation between the two of them where he was like, I want to commit to you and be with you. Mm-hmm. So why would you think that he felt that way about you?
I don't know. It's a good question. We skipped over the cat, though. Can we talk about the cat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gravy.
Everything about what happens with this cat is nuts. First, I don't know, like, Anna is so concerned about who hit the cat that she's letting her injured cat just, like, lie on the ground. Valencia and Rebecca, like, lie about what happened in the most unconvincing manner.
Pirate! Then there's Valencia! Valencia goes to pirate!
And I'm hoping that because they made it into a hit and run, that is why Anna is so upset. But I'm like, your cat got out of your place. Like, it was an accident. I mean, like, they shouldn't have been there, but, like, somebody else might have hit the cat if it wasn't them.
Someone could have been.
Like, we don't need to hunt down the person that hit your cat on accident.
I mean, a hit and run is different, though.
It is. Yeah. But I don't know if she would not have reacted the same way if they had just said, we hit your cat.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that question, but, like, I can understand the rage. Like, imagine if someone had hit Samson and drove off.
Of course, I would be very... Well, hit and run for sure.
Yeah.
But also, like, if somebody had accidentally bumped into my dog,
sure.
Well, because they could... Well, it would be really hard not to see him, but...
That's true. Also, I'd kind of be worried about the car. Are you okay?
But yeah, like, I'm like, wow, can we take this cat to the vet instead of arguing about who hit the cat?
No, you're right that, like, but, like, I do understand the anger of, like, you hit my cat and then had the just no concern at all of his welfare and just drove away. Like, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, she doesn't rightfully assume that the people involved in the hit and run stood there, lied to her face, and then offered to drive her to the hospital.
Even after they're asking her ridiculously personal questions.
So that was an interesting one, too, because Valencia apparently has some superpowers.
What do you mean?
Well, she correctly guesses her weight.
Of course, Valencia, that is like something that Valencia thinks about all the time.
Sure. To guess another person's goal weight is nuts. Like, do you realize how much you have to really go down the rabbit hole to know exactly what someone would want to weigh?
And just Valencia, which is like, I don't weigh myself, and Valencia is like,
yes you do.
Everyone does.
And she knew it.
Yeah.
So it's like at first when we say 115, that just feels like a hilarious joke. But when she correctly deduces the alarm code at 113, she was right about 115.
That's also not a complex enough alarm code. It's only 3 numbers.
I think most alarm codes are 4 to 6, though.
That's a lot more than 3. Like, in a statistical scenario, you can guess 3 numbers, but 6 numbers is a lot.
I mean, most people don't know your weight or target weight. You're usually relatively safe on that.
That's true.
Your birthday is a thing that people can easily acquire. Your goal weight is not on a form. You have to kind of go down a rabbit hole to get there.
I also love Valencia just, like, casually stealing things from the salon.
Not just the salon. I love the entire conversation about, like, well, she left her purse out. If she didn't want me to steal it with her keys just randomly hanging out. And Rebecca is horrified and be like, we need to have a conversation about consent. And Valencia's like, oh, whatever. Like, the best part about, and that's actually what I liked about a lot of this episode, is that, like, when you give Rebecca the, like, other half, it makes her more tolerable because she doesn't always have to be the nutty one. Like, you can let somebody else take the burden of being insane, and she's like, oh, no, this is not okay.
No, that's really true, because, like, one of my favorite parts in season 1 is after everything I've done for you that you didn't ask for. Because Rebecca is like,
I didn't ask
I didn't ask you to do any of this. Paula, you're being so unreasonable.
Yeah, like that. One of the things that I like about like season 1, when they bring in the Audra, when they bring in Naomi, it's like you let Paula be the more human person while the other person's losing their fucking mind.
Yeah.
Whereas like a lot of times in this show, we just see Rebecca being, like even the argument with Paula, where she's like, why am I always the one apologizing? I mean, yeah, I'm the one who's usually doing the bad thing. And you're like, well, that's probably why you're the one always apologizing, because you're the one who should be apologizing.
Do you have any? Do you have anything else before we move to lines?
Yeah, let's talk about a little dislikes. Do you have any dislikes?
I mean, we already talked
already covered those all. Rebecca, you're 26, 27, 28?
27, I would guess.
27? The silent treatment? Look, I understand giving somebody their space and not want to speak to them because you guys are in a fight. That's totally reasonable and fine. I got no beef with that. But, like, intentionally walking up to their desk and be like, you're my favorite person in a 3-mile radius. And I'm like, oh my God, you're like a fucking 12-year-old.
And she's so mean to George, who's trying to share something about his mom.
Oh, because Rebecca doesn't actually care about anyone else. Yeah. So that's fucked up. B, just knowing my wife and how much she loves a cat. Rebecca ran over a cat.
She did run over a cat.
That's fucked up. And then lied about it.
I mean...
She didn't mean to.
To be fair, yeah, she did not mean to. And also, they were, like, in a busy part of LA. Like, it is not a place that you would think that a cat would be outside.
Though you did see the cat in the window. I wouldn't assume the cat got out, to be fair. So I'm not blaming her for that. Just like a terrible scenario in general. I also dislike Paula had her Rebecca moment here. That was, and it wasn't just like one thing. It was Scott, it was Sunil, it was pretty much, other than Rebecca, you're a taker.
Yeah.
Like, you just are. And then my last one, and actually I'm going to remove that and I'm just going to move it down to most ridiculous. So let's go to lines.
Okay. Well, I had the one about, because I'm always the one who did the bad thing.
I also have the one. I'm usually the one who does the bad thing. And I'm like, honestly, I didn't think she knew that. I'm kind of impressed that she knew that.
I have 3 from Valencia in here.
Oh, go.
Her delivery of, I heard Mary-Kate Olsen had to pretend to be Elizabeth Olsen to get in.
Which is funny to think that, like, we grew up with Full House being, like, a phenomenon, and the twins were a big thing. And yet, compared to Elizabeth Olsen, who's now part of the MCU, she's the bigger star than them. Like, they're just child stars. She's been an adult star.
Well, and obviously,
she still acts.
Like, the MCU is her most, like, broad role, but she is, like, a nominated actress. Like, she's a very good actress.
And she's still acting, was like, I could not tell you anything that Mary-Kate and Ashley have been in.
I think they, like, design stuff now.
Like, the only time I ever hear them is, like, drugs. Like, I really don't know of anything they've ever done, other than Full House.
Well, and also all of the Mary-Kate and Ashley films from when we were children.
Sure. That are just playing on them being little precocious twins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, got it.
I think we all were Valencia in this moment, but Rebecca is, like, frustrated that Valencia doesn't understand her references, and she says, I'm not stupid, you just use really obscure references all the time.
She's not wrong. She's really not wrong.
But my favorite was when she referred to Anna as the enemy who smells like heaven.
Which, it's funny because hearing that from Valencia, it's crazy, but I get it.
Yeah.
Hearing that from Rebecca, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I'm feeling kind of naughty.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it gives me more of the, you want to take her skin and be her type vibes. Yeah. Whereas Valencia, there's just bitterness.
Yep.
I like Heather's, you're still in a fight with Paula. Like, immediately deducing all of that stuff. This isn't a line, it's more of a tag, but it needs to be said. Anna the Browbarian.
Yeah.
Come on. That's great.
It's great.
I have a question, and this is not necessarily related to this episode, but it kind of reminds me of what I think might happen towards the end. So, you know how Valencia goes and gets laid?
Yeah.
Just decides. Rebecca looks very hurt there, because she kind of thought like that was her, like, trauma bonding partner. What's going to happen when Valencia gets a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Because, realistically, much like Josh, I don't think Valencia struggles for attention from the opposite sex. if she wants to date again and she's ready, she's going to be able to date again pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. That's just going to piss Rebecca off.
Yeah, for sure. I think that I'm also curious if I mean, not that there's nothing. It's totally fine if Valencia just wants to get laid, but I'm not sure that she will get emotional fulfillment from that.
I don't think she's trying to. I think she's like someone's just going out drinking. You just,
Yeah.
Second question off that: what if Valencia and Anna actually get along?
That's a good question.
Because they got a lot of similar interests.
Yeah. They do. They do have a lot
It would not shock me if, like, the way that Rebecca realized Valencia isn't the devil, maybe Valencia all goes like, actually, Anna's kind of cool.
I mean, they both think that she's cool.
Well, no, they think she's cool, but they hate her. Yeah. I mean, like, Valencia thinks she's cool.
Well, it's similar to how Rebecca felt about Valencia.
Absolutely.
She thought she was cool, and she clearly did, because they're friends now. Mm-hmm. But also, she kind of hated her.
She hated her, because she wanted to be her. Yeah. It was.
I have one more line.
Go ahead.
When Rebecca and Valencia are leaving to go down to find Anna, and they say, we're going to have our Thelma and Louise moment, and Heather says, Thelma and Louise drove off a cliff.
Be safe.
Be careful.
Yeah.
I love how that's, like, a very acceptable, like, spoiler. Like, everyone knows that. Like, you've never seen Thelma and Louise, but you know that.
I only learned that when you told me
You
that.
didn't know? Oh.
I knew Thelma and Louise died in the end, but I thought it was more Bonnie and Clyde, where they, like, had a shootout and went down.
I mean, they're being chased by police.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I thought they, like, Last Stand, Scarface, Bonnie and Clyde. I had no idea that they just, like, sended it. Would have not guessed that ending. Because essentially, they commit suicide at the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got for our favorite moment?
So this is an interesting one, because, like, my favorite moments were more or less, like, realizations. Like, for example, Scott and Paula's relationship flip was cool to see. Mm-hmm. Because I've always considered it, Scott was neglectful of Paula, and it's like, actually, like, either Paula's neglectful of Scott or they're both neglectful of each other. It's definitely not one-sided, which I thought was like, oh, that's kind of cool to see. And then, like, Paula owns it, to be fair. She admits she fucked up. She bungles the apology, which, what does she exactly say? Do you recall?
No.
But it's a joke about the quartet in this is not the time for that joke.
Well, I think also Paula...
Oh, I'm sorry. I remember what she says. Not Nancy. Tanya buys 6 CDs for the troops. Mm. And she says, does she not support the troops?
Yeah.
That's actually why them being good was fucked up. Because, like, you're making fun of them for being bad, and they're not even bad.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah.
I have 3 favorite moments. Mm-hmm. And we already talked about, Anna the Barbarian, because that's amazing. Just so good. Also Josh reacting to the I love that about you.
Oh, the Josh panic?
Priceless.
Yeah. Oh, no!
And this is more about, like, the structure of the episode, but the timing between the A and the B plot and how Paula and Scott and Rebecca and Valencia get sad at the same time was great. And it, like, the way that it led into the You Go First song was perfect.
Because they're not tied together really at all. Other than their fight, they're completely separate plots.
Yeah, because the episode was not about Rebecca and Paula's friendship, but the whole episode was about Rebecca and Paula's friendship.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was about how miserable they are without each other.
Yeah.
Valencia has a superpower. She could just tell how much you weigh and how much you want to weigh. That's nuts.
She spends a lot of time thinking about it.
You can spend a lot of time thinking about how much you want to weigh. That is insane to be able to pinpoint target somebody else.
Did you notice that when they were outside of the eyebrow shop and they were listening to Anna talk on the phone, that I'm So Good at Yoga was playing in the background?
I thought I heard a song I was familiar with, and I was like, that sounds familiar, but I was like...
It's just so interesting when we were talking about how they, like, both are jealous of her and want to be here, because, like, that's what that song is about.
Mm-hmm. That's a good reprise. Mm-hmm. Shut up and listen to my wise reprise.
Favorite song?
I have one more favorite moment. Heather's ability to see the future, and I'm doing this sarcastically, but, like, just knowing that, like, hey, you go down this rabbit hole, it's not going to end well for you. And then they come back out to home base, and it's like, I told you.
Told you
so.
That's great.
Favorite song?
I liked
both
the songs, but I chose You Go First.
Same.
Particularly because I think like the visual element of it is great, and I mean both of their performances in the song are very good. But it's such an 80s power ballad music video.
Because it's more outlandish and goes for outlandish, I think I like it a little bit more. I think the first one was fine. Like, it was a good song. I had a real, like, I was laughing my ass off to it. But, like, Research Me Obsessively was, like, more of a better characterization song.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, You Go First was just nutty.
Well, and my favorite line from You Go First, I have two favorite lines. One is from the other song. That feels so real is at one point in the song, they say, I want you to tell me that you're sorry so I can say, oh, no, please. Just like I rehearsed. Which is like such a real feeling where you want to be like, well, I want to apologize first, but I don't want to apologize first. I want them to apologize first, and then I can pretend like I wanted to apologize first. This isn't a thing that you do.
I don't think there's anything men do. Like, you know that thing at the end of the night where, like, a bunch of women want to fight over who pays?
Uh-huh.
Men don't do that.
I think men do that.
No, we will just either pay or we'll be like, hey, we're all splitting it. This is not we're not going to do this stupid little, and like, if you're the guy who like always forgets his wallet, at some point we're calling you out as annoyed. Like, just, we're adults, have a fucking conversation over money. Also, men don't apologize. We don't want to apologize. We don't want to pretend like we were going to apologize. We're bad at apologizing.
All right, well, as a woman, I felt that inside.
No, I hear you.
But I did really like the line from Research Me Obsessively. Check out every guy I used to date and deduce who broke up with who based on the hesitation in our smiles.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
That's wild, though. That was a good line. I have two ridiculous moments. Both of them are conceptual. I
have two also. One is like a small thing, and one is more conceptual.
Okay, do the small thing.
When Valencia says that her 8th grade church play was called Don't Be Different.
That was so good. And
it's like really funny. And also, like, if you really think about it, says a lot about Valencia as a person. That, like, she's internalized that and has been living with it since 8th grade.
Also, and church.
And church.
So as much as I liked You Go First, and I thought it fit the episode really well, I don't agree that both of them need to apologize. Yeah,
I think Rebecca is not wrong that Paula was rude to Valencia and Heather, but that's like a separate issue.
Then Rebecca is correct that Paula needs to apologize to Heather and Valencia. That I agree with.
And apology isn't the right thing, but Paula needs to not enable, like, she needs to change how she treats Rebecca.
Well, and she has. That's what the contract is. I think that's my issue with this, is that it is kind of framed as like, we both messed up. No, Paula messed up in the beginning, changed it, fixed it, had the contract, we're in a good spot. Yeah, you guys drifted apart, and yes, she was rude to your friends because she didn't really want to be there. And had you been a good friend and known that, you wouldn't have invited her to something clearly she didn't want to be part of.
Yeah.
And I think my issue with this is that, like, Rebecca's like, well, you should apologize too. And I'm like, no, she shouldn't. Like, hashtag Paula did nothing wrong here to you. Them two, yeah, I shouldn't have ruined your girl group. I should have just said no and told Rebecca to fuck off. But Rebecca thinking Paula owes her an apology is just insane in my opinion.
We talked about this already, but Valencia and Rebecca just rationalizing digging deeper on Anna to protect her from Josh.
And then
the opposite.
To protect Josh from her.
All of the rationalizing.
So it's funny, that's not ridiculous to me because it's on brand, but I think the one that stuck out the most, and I've talked about it before, but like, Rebecca genuinely sees herself as a sister to Valencia and their level of pain from Josh. And I find that hysterical.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I have 5 losers.
I got 4.
Okay. They might all be the same except for my extra one. I have Paula, Scott, Valencia, and Rebecca.
Yep.
That sadness that they all feel at the same time is really sad.
So it's interesting. Scott is sad because of Paula. Valencia is sad because of Josh. Paula is sad because of Rebecca and Scott.
Uh-huh.
Rebecca is sad because Paula and Josh.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't even know what kind of dodecahedron this is.
Yeah.
But my last loser is Gravy, the cat. He got ran over. His tail was detached from his body. But he's okay, so that's good. You're adding Gravy?
Yeah. My God. What's worse is I didn't even think about him at all. He got run over in this episode. No, that's totally fair. Okay, let's talk about, because we've spent a bunch of time talking about Rebecca and Valencia. Let's talk about Scott.
Okay.
I feel like this is one of the most in-depth episodes we've gotten about like how Scott feels, because usually it's been, and I'm okay with this, Scott is essentially Paula's sidekick as far as the show is concerned. And this is the first time where Scott kind of comes to the forefront. And like, it reminds me of how I've said this about Josh and Rebecca, is that like, Josh never did anything with malice to Rebecca. Like, he wasn't trying to hurt her. He wasn't trying to be mean. He wasn't, it wasn't like intent. But like, some of the things he did hurt her. Paula is not trying to be an ass to Scott. She's not mad at him. She's not pissed at him. She's just wrapped up in her own little world, and that has caused Scott pain. And I think he's seen this for a while. And when she runs in late, she's like, "Oh, I must have only missed the first song." And but Tanya is like, "That's the encore." And then I think what makes it worse is that like the apology could have gotten out of it, except for you insulted him in the apology. It's like, Jesus, do you even know how serious this is?
Well, and the fact that she doesn't seem to, like, she belittles this thing that he does all the time because she doesn't like it. Fine.
Yeah.
She knows how important it is to him. And it wasn't like something happened and she couldn't be there. Like, she just didn't pay attention.
Yeah, like it had been like, look, I got pulled into an emergency situation, or like my car broke down, where it's like, yeah, I understand you being mad, but like that's not her fault. Like you got to give her some grace. This was just, I didn't even take the time to
and the way that she comes in too, like if you like she made it about her that she was late. Like she could have just walked in the back and stood there, but she needed to like be seen in the front. And the look on his face when he can't find her in the crowd is so sad. Because I think, and you didn't know at the time they were saying that it was the encore, but now knowing that, it's like, oh, he just like wanted her to get there just for that last song, and she like couldn't even do that.
Which is like a good juxtaposition of like the woman who's flirting with him has been the whole time and is waving in the front row, and he doesn't want her, he wants his wife. Yeah. But Paula's not there because, well, Paula had better things to do.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like then I think she also at some point calls Sunil to come over and just tells the kid, like, we'll just put a movie on for the kids. And I'm just like, oh, this is the Rebecca, don't worry about your kid getting expelled all over. It's like, you two really are cut from the same cloth.
Also, Sunil's kids are little.
Yeah.
Like, he can't just leave them.
But even if they weren't little, he's spending time with his kids. Like, but you don't care. So, like,
And I bet that if she was a friend that listened to him about his needs, that he might have tried to come and help her. But, yeah.
Yep. I don't think we need to say anything. Valencia, we know why she's sad. Rebecca, we know why she's sad. Gravy lost his tail for a little bit. We know why he's sad.
He's a beautiful cat.
He's a beautiful cat. Paula obviously hurt her husband, and he left, rightfully so. So those are all pretty self-explanatory, I'd say.
Yeah. I have two winners.
Same.
I have Anna and Josh.
Interesting.
They're happy. They seem happy. Even though Anna's cat got ran over. And she's not a drug dealer. That's also good.
Yep. Explain Josh.
I mean, we don't know. We don't see... Josh is in this episode, but like we see almost nothing of this episode from Josh's perspective. It's like almost entirely Anna's perspective, or like from a video that has no sound.
Yeah, with lip reading. Yeah.
But I feel like he has moved on. I'm maybe worried that he's like diving in very quickly, but I don't know. I mean, we talked earlier about like he didn't say I love you. He just said he wants to be on. He's being honest about his feelings, and I think that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I also have Josh. This was not like a disagreement. I was just curious because you normally don't have Josh. I mean, I think this was. The reasons that Rebecca and Valencia lost are the reason that Josh won. Josh, of the three of them, has moved on.
Yeah.
He's happy now. I think he is... my only concern would be, I think he's correct and honest about the thing with him and Rebecca. At least based on what Anna tells. I don't know that he's properly, and it's also hard to summarize 10 years quickly.
Well, and also, as we talked about, Valencia was really mean to him.
She was. There was a lot. That's the thing. It's nuanced. Like, she was bad to him.
Yeah.
He was also, I don't want to say he wasn't mean to her, but he definitely was a bit neglectful, maybe?
Oh, for sure neglectful.
Yeah.
And, unwilling to talk about his real feelings. Mm-hmm. I think he thought he was supposed to feel something. And, he did have feelings for Rebecca. And he did tell her eventually about that. But I don't, it's not an accident that he had those feelings because he just didn't care about Valencia.
Well, because that's not true, because he does say, I don't love her.
Yeah.
And I love you. So, he did care about Valencia. That is true. But I think he's just more, he's more honest about the situation with him and Rebecca than he is necessarily with him and Valencia, because that's probably harder to process.
Yeah.
I have Heather as the other winner.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. She was right.
Just right all along. Just hilarious, I've said this before. I think episodes with Rebecca are better with Heather in them because Heather is kind of the counterbalance to her bunch sanity. And then Valencia is both the counterbalance and also the wind-up friend. So the three of them work very well.
Yeah, I get that. Well, next time we will watch Who is Josh's Soup Fairy? That's a weird title. You seem concerned.
I'm confused because I've never heard of a soup fairy. What you said it goes on until season 3 that everything has Josh in the title?
That's a good question.
Because it's a bit I feel like we finished the Josh thing. One of the things that has been confusing to me about this season, both the theme song and the titles, is that the Josh thing seems to be both wrapping up and we're at the epilogue stage to me. This doesn't seem like something that is building towards something. I mean, maybe it is. You have future knowledge, I don't. But it feels like it should at the very least be done. We're done here. We're moving on. We're going through this was them dealing with their grief over the fact that Josh is happy and moved on. Why are we still here?
Yeah. I'm
not even asking you to answer that question. I'm more or less asking from I guess I'm asking the show writers. Why are we still here? Move along.
Yeah.
Greg moved on.
Well, and I think it is a good question. I just named Josh as a winner because he seems happy. Mm-hmm. But we did not get an interior of Josh in this episode. Do we think that is true?
So even if let's say Josh isn't happy, I'm not saying move on from Josh as a character. I'm not saying Josh has to be perfectly happy. I'm saying move on from the Rebecca and Josh thing. We know factually they're not happy together, just like we know factually Josh is not happy with Valencia. That part is done. Greg was not happy with Rebecca. We moved on. Move on. If they come back to each other, there's no chance it works. Obviously, I'm in the weirdo camp that people shouldn't just run back to each other when it didn't work the first time. I know what a crazy person I am. This shit ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm firmly in this shit ain't gonna work camp. But buckle up, buddy.
Hashtag Josh did nothing wrong.
Well, please be sure to join us next week when we watch Season 2, Episode 8, Who is Josh's Soup Fairy?
We will see you next time.